Lecture 2 about Raspberry Pi. The founder of Raspberry Pi is Eben Upton, and according to him, it is called raspberry because it is a reference to a fruit naming tradition in the old days of microcomputers. And it is Pi because originally they are going to produce a computer that could only really run Python. So the Pi in there is for Python, but now Raspberry Pi can not only run with Python but also other high-level languages. The operating system itself provides a user interface. So it gives a way for a user to go sit there and give commands to the computer and do basic things without writing any code. So that's one benefit of having an operating system. There are two types of user interface. On the left is the text-based interface, really simple interface. And the other way is graphic interface, so you have to point and click using the mouse. You click on things, so you have icons, all that stuff, pull down menus. There's also a file system in Raspberry Pi. The existence of Raspberry Pi can run multiple processes at the same time. What does that mean? Say you had an Arduino and you write a piece of code and running it on there. That program is the only program running on your Arduino at a given time. But with Raspberry Pi, the operating system allows you to run multiple programs at the same time. Another thing that operating system gives you is the ability to use different hardware devices easily. So any application running in user space and then convert file access to device access, and device drivers enable applications to access arbitrary hardware devices. Example, keyboard, monitor. Okay. And in configuring the system, we have the terminal window which provides a command line prompt. And the sudo command provides an administration privileges that allow system configuration changes, wherein you have to type sudo space raspi config, which opens the configuration tool. Raspberry Pi will start up with the boot messages, then display a login prompt where you must enter a username and password to proceed. So the default username is small letter P, I, Pi, and then its password is Raspberry. Linux is case sensitive, so you must always observe correct capitalization. Raspbian provides a default taskbar containing an application launcher which provides buttons to launch the most frequently used applications, and a system tray that provides frequently sought system information. The system tray contains these 5 default items. We have the Wi-Fi network settings, which displays available networks and lets you connect to your selected network. Second one is the volume control. Displays the current volume level and allows you to adjust the volume. And next one is the CPU usage monitor settings. It displays current CPU load. And next is the system clock. Okay, displays the current system time. And the ejector button, which allows you to safely eject external drives that may be connected to your Raspberry Pi. The application launcher buttons are used to launch the application menu, okay, Epiphany web browser, file manager, and the terminal command window. The taskbar also provides an area to contain buttons for minimize windows. For the menu, it pops open a comprehensive application menu, web browser, launches the Epiphany web browser. File Manager launches a graphical file management application in your home directory. And the terminal launches a console-like command window. GPIO, or the General Purpose Input-Output, a generic pin on a chip whose behavior can be controlled by the user at runtime, and it can be used as digital inputs and digital outputs. The Raspberry Pi 3 Model B board contains a single 40-pin expansion header labeled as J8, okay, and providing access to 28 GPIO pins. Under the GPIO pins, we have two red colors. This means we have two 5 volts. And for the black color is for the ground. We have the pin 6, pin 9, 14, 20, 25, 30, 34, and 39. For the yellow colors, these are GPIO pins. We have 26. And for the orange, which is the pin 1 and pin 17, these are 3.3 volt pin. And we have the white color, which is the pin 27 and pin 28. This is for EEPROM. This is for advanced use only. And this diagram illustrates the GPIO pin out. So the question now here is Raspberry Pi an IoT device? Okay. It depends on how it is used. The reason why you might say Raspberry Pi device is similar to an IoT device because it has network intelligence, network connectivity, computational intelligence, meaning it's a processor that talks on a network. Next one is small and cheap. It is relative to a personal computer, and it can interface with sensors and actuators directly via pins. And one of the beauties of an IoT device is you don't see the complexities as a user.